Hello everyone, this is Kathleen, and I'm here today to share the finished tapestry journal. I'm really pleased with how it turned out. I like it. It is 8.5, or about 8.25, I guess, by 5 inches wide. It has this pretty button elastic closure. This is the way I like to close my journals, and I've used these pretty glass beads on the elastic. Has this hand crocheted by me Irish rose motif here on the front, just in this little fabric collage. That was just a lot of fun to do. And this is the back. This is beautiful tapestry fabric. And let's go inside and we'll see how it looks finished. Just this pretty image from the Graphics Fairy. And I've used some glossy accents to accent the little raspberries in her hair. And this is some vintage stationery. I think the colors just match perfectly. And there are, let's see, 14 pockets and tucks throughout the journal and 26 pieces of ephemera. This one is just an ancient book page with a little stamp here in the corner, and another really old, very vintage, fragile composition student notebook paper that I've glued to the back. This is that fold over snippet tuck, and here on the other side, some napkin decoupage there, just some vintage ephemera, and some coffee dyed paper that I have folded so that it's kind of a waterfall fold, and that just tucks back in there. Some fiber along this side, and lots of hand dyeing in this on the papers. Here's that pretty snippet edge that we did, and this pretty fabric pocket with the silk ruffle here. Some vintage receipt, that vintage book page that I made into this little tag, journaling tag, and this layered stamped tag that we did together. I really like the way that the hand dyeing looks. I worked pretty hard to get the colors to match. This is just a handmade tag. And this digital image corner tuck. I've used some texture paste here on this avocado dyed paper, and more hand dyed paper. This is a flip, this fiber, and just a digital ephemera card with this ribbon embellishment, and a memo sheet, vintage. Then there's just a little clip that holds that secure on that edge. There's some sari silk ruffle here, some ephemera. This is just a piece of pretty digital ephemera. Handmade tag, and this is a vintage embossed pansies postcard, 1911, that 1-cent stamp. How fun. I just thought the colors matched really well. This center is just this pretty book page that was in the kit. There's a digital tag, and just some book end pages that I fold and just make a journaling paper. This is April 2020. We all know what happened that month. This pretty yo-yo kind of a fabric snippet, just charm. And the other side of the avocado dyed paper with the texture paste. Here's the bow that we made together. This is some really beautiful vintage, very clean, very nice linen stationery. It fits right in there. Here's a beautiful silk ruffle on this edge. There's the edge that we did together in the one video. And this is a double pocket with some vintage ephemera. If you're as old as me, you might recognize it's very 70s. I kind of like that, but I liked the colors here in this. This is a vintage, about 1927 ledger paper, and I've just made this kind of a fold over tuck library card catalog card and a vintage check, and that just slides there in that tuck. It's a pretty hand-dyed paper. This is another flip out with that folded paper clip and a couple pieces of vintage ephemera. Just papers to journal on. I have to apologize for my stained fingers. They just always look horrible. This is a side tuck pocket with another little handmade embellishment there and some more vintage ephemera. This is a pretty piece of vintage stationery, and this is a vintage recipe handwritten for spice cake. And the final pocket is with this vintage lace and the fussy cut, and I've also used glossy accents to embellish that. It's a pretty plain card, just an index card and just some coffee dyed paper to use for journaling, and that fits there. And there's the back and the eyelets in the back cover hold the elastic. So that's this journal, and I am excited to put this up on Etsy, and so you can look on Etsy for this. And I appreciate you being with me today. Thanks very much for spending time.